For 6 months, Tasmania has been battling to keep the lights on. The chilly winter is approaching and demand for power is skyrocketing as people crank up their heaters.
We're living on an island and we are in a crisis.
Tasmania's dams have hit record lows and haven't been able to supply the state's electricity needs. Mother Nature has played a role in the crisis, but she's not the only culprit.
We had a responsibility to ensure that we maximise the return for the state during the carbon price period.
Hydro Tasmania is accused of selling too much renewable energy to achieve record dividends.
We sold about half of the state's consumption back into Victoria over the period of 2 years. Whenever you're setting performance bonuses, whenever you're setting goals, you've always got to look at the balance between risk and reward. And I think what we're seeing now is that we took a bit too much risk.
But Hydro Tasmania's profits would be short-lived. Record low rainfall last year has left Tasmania's dams running low.
September and October, November were the driest spring period that Tasmania had experienced in recorded history.
Tasmania's backup energy supply kicked in with the Basslink underwater cable, which allows the state to import coal-fired power from Victoria. But in December, it was supplying 40% of the state's electricity when it broke suddenly, and it hasn't been fixed.
The day that the interconnector went out of service, we were having to supply about 90% of Tasmania's demand with hydropower.
At full capacity, Lake Gordon holds enough water to fill Sydney Harbour 21 times. Now it looks like this.
This really brings home just how close we've flown to the wire this time.
Energy consultant Mark White is blown away by the dramatic change.
It's very confronting. It's such an enormous body of water, or it was, and to see it like this, you have to wonder how many years it's going to take to recover. We think we're actually at the highest risk point of this crisis.
To avoid blackouts and power rationing, Hydro Tasmania has scrambled to find an emergency energy supply. At a cost of more than $58 million, it's installed and run hundreds of diesel generators, including here at Meadowbank Power Station.
What we've got here is 6 containers that each contain a large truck engine that's attached to a power generator. And in the middle here, this middle container has the transformer which takes that power and effectively puts it into the grid.
Heavy industry has been hit the hardest by the crisis, slashing its energy use in confidential deals with Hydro Tasmania. Rio Tinto's Bell Bay aluminium smelter has cut production by 10%, telling a federal Senate inquiry it's cost them international customers and $20 million in revenue.
We're taking a hit. It's as simple as that. This has sent shockwaves to our customers as per other customers.
Recent heavy rainfall has seen dam levels rise to 22%, easing the immediate pressure. However, for the crisis to be over, the Basslink undersea cable needs to be fixed, and that won't be easy.
They had considerable difficulty, of course, finding where the fault is. And now that they have found it, it's a tear about the size of your thumb.
Repeated repair deadlines have been missed. The latest estimate is late June, but the cable ship, which is currently at sea, requires calm conditions for 20 days on a notorious stretch of water. Tasmania will be counting the cost of the crisis for years to come. With some estimates, the price tag could cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Energy Minister Matthew Groom admits it was a mistake for Hydro Tasmania to let dam levels fall so low.
I do think that the reduction of the prudent water management level that occurred was a mistake.
the kinds of circumstances that we needed to be ready for have now changed. We now know that it can be drier than we had previously used in our modelling, and we now know that a Basslink repair can take much longer than we had planned for.